Hello and welcome. I'm Trish Rock and this is your inspiration for the week. I want to talk to you today about your values and your boundaries and not allowing the foundations of that to come from outside of yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, so often, I don't know, it's happened in my life and I know it happens in my clients' lives. We really allow the opinions of others or the good advice of others or the commanding voice of leaders around you or people in your life that have an authority. We allow that to determine how we feel and the value that we have for ourselves, our value and our worth. We allow the opinion of others to determine how we feel about ourselves. And while I'm not saying, don't take advice from leaders or mentors or people around you, it's important not to measure yourself on any of those opinions. Advice and taking on board someone else's fears is two different things. And you can gain advice in your life. Of course, we all do that. We seek to better ourselves and to learn and to expand ourselves, our learning, our knowledge, our skills, our talents, our capabilities, all of that. And that's fantastic. But if we don't have those boundaries up and if we don't really have that discernment between what's advice that would serve us and what's in alignment, or taking on the fears of someone else through their opinion, and if we take those fears on, then we are taking on someone else's fear, and it can really damage our self-worth and our value and those boundaries. And quite often, as soon as you put up some boundaries with your time, your value, your who you want to spend time with or what you want to do in life, and all of those things, when you put up some boundaries based on your own value and respect, it's going to trigger some people. And once again, you've got to be discerning there, because there will be some good advice, but there'll also be some advice and opinions that come from fear. So how do you determine that? Well, you really need to go within. Does it feel in alignment with you, or has it triggered you? If something is triggering you, it's there to expand you. And you can then ask yourself, well, why did that trigger me? I've put that boundary in place. Someone has opposed it. Why is that triggering me? And perhaps for you, you've got some boundaries up and, 10 people oppose it and it doesn't trigger you, but then someone comes along and opposes it. It could be someone close to you and it triggers you. So it's about asking yourself, why is that triggering me? And not going straight to the default mode that so many of us do of, well, I'm not valuable, or I'm not worthy, or who am I to do that? Not to go to that default mode, to really ask yourself, why did that trigger me? Why did that not feel good? Why am I upset about that? Why did I react? And you might come up with a few possibilities. The first one might be, well, that's their opinion and they're in fear and I'm not going to take it on. The second one might be, that's a good point. Okay, I need to shift this in my life to have things in more alignment. There's all sorts of different ways you can take it on board, but when you when you stop and think before you react, you will actually get to the truth of it for you, rather than just reacting to old triggers that come up, or old beliefs, or those old default modes. So I want to inspire you this week to really be present. If you are triggered by something, if someone crosses your boundary, if somebody questions your boundaries, don't go straight to the default mode of value, worth, or any of those things, right? Ask yourself, why did that trigger me? Why did that trigger me? Am I taking on somebody else's fear here? Do I just need to stand my ground and stay in my boundary and in my respect, my self-respect and my self-worth, and answer from that intention? Or do I just need not to respond? Or is it a lesson that's come to me in really great divine timing to allow me to expand through that trigger? But really it's about not reacting. It's about breathing in and asking better questions of yourself, not going immediately to that default mode of anger, hurt, pain, unworthiness, no value, low self-respect, which on a subconscious level we quite often do. But when you really go internally and ask yourself, what is it all about? You can see the reasons, you can feel the reasons, and you can stop reacting to whoever triggered it, and you can bring it back to you and feel empowered again. And you can feel in alignment again. And you can once again start trusting you and not reacting to the opinion of others. Have a fantastic week. You might like to write all that down in your journal too as you go through the week. How did I react today? What did I react to today? Could be a good question to ask yourself at the end of every day when you're journaling. And at the beginning of every day, you can make a statement of, I choose not to react to other people today. I'm curious as to what will be discovered, or I'm curious today as to what will be offered for me to expand, and I will not react to any triggers. I will breathe instead. Have a fantastic week.